Hey there, welcome to our explainer. Today we're diving into the most influential voice in your entire life. Yeah? The one right there inside your own head. And we're going to figure out how to make that voice an ally, not, a constant heckler.
So let's kick things off with this really powerful idea from Roxy Nafusi. Your mind can be your home or your prison. You get to choose. That's it. That's the key right there. The idea that we actually have a choice. It's all about realizing we have some say over our inner world, even when it really, really doesn't feel like it.
I mean, it's a beautiful concept, right? Having a choice. But let's be real for a second. Why does it so often feel like a prison? A place that's run by this relentless inner heckler who just never seems to take a day off. Let's unpack that.
Okay, so first things first, let's get a really clear look at the problem. We need to understand this inner heckler, that negative, critical voice that has a running commentary on literally everything we do and everything we are.
Think about it like this. Picture a stand-up comedian on stage, just trying to do their thing. But the whole time, the audience is just booing and shouting stuff at them. What's going to happen? That comedian is going to get self-conscious, they're going to stumble over their words, they're just never going to give their best performance.
And here is the absolute kicker. Most of the time, we are our own heckler. From the second we wake up and glance in the mirror, I look so tired, to that meeting at work, why did I say that? That was so dumb. We are constantly booing ourselves off our own stage. I mean, how can we ever expect to live up to our potential if we're our own worst critic?
So it's super important to know the difference between this destructive heckling and, productive self-awareness. Self-criticism is just plain mean. It's the voice that says, "You're such an idiot." But self-awareness, that's compassionate. It says, "You know what? That wasn't your best. How can we do better next time?" See the difference? One's a dead end, the other is a path forward.
So, what's the consequence of all this inner noise? Well, when our inner world is so harsh, we get completely trapped by the outer world. We start desperately looking for validation from other people just to quiet that heckler in our own head for a minute.
This quote just absolutely nails it. I am not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I'm who I think you think I am. Whoa, we literally let what we imagine other people are thinking define our reality. It's the whole felt cute, might delete later thing, right? You post a picture feeling great, but if it doesn't get enough likes, you start questioning your own judgment, your own sense of worth. It's exhausting.
So, how do we break free from this trap? Well, here are 4 powerful truths you can start to internalize. First, and this one is so liberating, nobody is thinking about you as much as you think they are. Second, you can never truly know what someone else is thinking anyway. Third, you just can't please everyone, so it's kind of pointless to even try. And fourth, a lot of the time, it's not personal, it's just a mismatch of energy.
And this is such a great story to illustrate that second truth. So, performers from Cirque du Soleil noticed that when they performed in America, the crowd would go absolutely wild, right? Cheering, screaming. But when they performed in some parts of Asia, a really happy audience might just give a small, quiet clap. The performers actually thought they were failing. It just goes to show we build these entire stories in our heads based on social cues we can't possibly interpret correctly.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem and what it leads to. Now for the good stuff, the solutions. The first key is to master your mind. It's about actively taking control of your thoughts instead of just letting them control you. Now, a really powerful tool to help you do this is the concept of your higher self. And hey, don't let the term freak you out. It's actually really simple. It's just your most empowered self. It's the best version of you, the one that operates from a place of confidence, not from fear and doubt.
And here's the super practical way to bring that version of you to life. Before pretty much every choice you make, from hitting the snooze button to how you word an email to what you decide to eat, just pause for a second and ask yourself this one simple question. What would my higher self do?
And this might be the most important thing to really let sink in. Your inner critic is not you. It's not your destiny. It is simply a rehearsed habit, like a well-worn path in your brain that you've walked down for years. And the best part? You can build a new path. You can choose to practice and rehearse a kinder, more empowered voice.
All right, on to our second key. If mastering the mind is about dealing with all that noise, this next part is about learning to hear the quiet wisdom that's underneath it all. It's about trusting your intuition.
This really breaks down the 2 different voices we all hear. First, you've got the mind, that monkey mind or inner heckler we talked about. It's loud, it's totally fear-based, and it's bossy. It shouts orders at you. But your intuition, it's the complete opposite. It's quiet. It comes from a place of love. And it's open. It doesn't command you, it gently guides.
You know, trusting your intuition really starts with this belief that we are all guided, even in our darkest moments when we feel completely and totally alone. There's a deeper wisdom available to us, a connection to something bigger, if we can just learn how to listen for it.
This old story is a perfect example of how easily we can miss that guidance. So there's this religious guy on a sinking boat, and he's praying to God for help. Pretty soon, another boat comes by to save him. He says, "No thanks, God will save me." Then a helicopter comes, same thing. Then a plane, he turns them all away. Well, he eventually drowns, gets to heaven, and he asks God, "Why didn't you save me?" And God replies, "I sent you a boat, a helicopter, and a plane." The point is, guidance doesn't always show up how we expect it to.
So what's the result of all this? What actually happens when we combine these two keys? When we master our mind and trust our intuition? Well, we finally start living on our authentic path.
And this brings us right back to where we started. By learning to manage those loud, fearful thoughts and tuning into our quiet, intuitive guidance, we can make that incredible transformation. We can finally turn the prison of our mind into a home.
But I want to be super clear about what this confidence actually looks like. It is not arrogance. Not at all. Arrogance comes from a place of feeling superior. It basically says, I am better than you. True confidence comes from a place of growth. It just says, I'm working to be the best that I can be.
And this is the ultimate takeaway. This is the foundation for everything we've talked about. True confidence is knowing that your worth was never up for discussion. It was never negotiable. It wasn't something you had to go out and earn. It has always been there, right inside you.
So as we wrap this up, I'm just going to leave you with this question to carry with you. What is one choice, just one small thing, that you can make today to start turning the prison of your mind into a home?